everyone, I am Tacet and welcome back to another episode of our Gems of War Let's Play series. In today's episode, we are going to be going over True Damage. True Damage is a type of effect in Gems of War that allows abilities to hit HP and negate past all of the armor. Whenever you deal true damage to an enemy, you'll just be reducing their HP, and it will completely ignore their armor value regardless of how high or low it is. So it is particularly good earlier on in the game, as HP values tend to be pretty high, and if you did something like get all your magic kingdoms first, your true damage will also be very high compared to it. So what we are going to be doing right now is a couple things. For one, show them the things that we have done off camera during some of the streams and stuff. For one, we actually have 3,000 seals right now. Actually not going to be using them. The main reason for this is if we go over to our guild right now, you can see it's a little bit inactive. Of course, we're still in the very first guild that we ever joined, just a random one that we joined in the first video or second video. I think it was the first video, very first let's play of this, or first video of the let's play. We ended up joining the Overwatch Destroyers. As you can see, they have 29. They have quite a few zeros just lingering around everywhere, which is preventing us from getting 20,000 seals. I'm holding all my seals until this guild once again passes 20,000, mainly because we will be getting better drops once we get there. We will still be getting decent drops at this 10,000, but once we get it up to 20,000, they're basically like glory keys. And if we ever joined a guild sometime in the future, these are basically like gem keys, all the way maxed out chests. Though I'm mainly just aiming for the 20,000. I highly doubt, unless we actually go and join a much better guild, we're not going to be getting 40,000 anytime soon. But it is realistic to save all your seals until you can find a guild that can do 20,000, because that's pretty average, being able to do 20,000. Well, maybe slightly above average, but you definitely should. If your guild just keeps going to only 10,000, it is a good idea to, if you have a competent teams already built, to save all your seals until you go to 20,000. These seals, you get to keep them for as long as you want, even if you switch to a different guild. So you will be able to use them. Any unclaimed ones you won't be able to, but as long as you have them claimed, you'll be able to switch guilds all you want and be able to keep these and then use them all. It won't add it to their weekly guilds or anything like that, or weekly seals, but you will be able to go basically just to a higher guild, then use their higher chest, and then open up all of your seals whenever you choose to move to a higher guild, if you ever do. But anyways, let's go now into some teams. Oh, and one other thing. Bars of Thorns, level 10. This is actually our first attack kingdom. If we just open there we go, first attack. And of course, the other 3 attack kingdoms are Black Hawk, Wild Plains, and Pride Lands, which are the next 3 that we are working on. My gold is a little bit low. I could have probably had like a whole another one of these upgraded, but I have been contributing to the guild as they has helped us so much. So right now we're going to be going into a very easy to build true damage team. We actually have them all at level 5, well, level 6 on Wolf Knight because he gets an extra magic at level 6. But we're only using a Wolf Knight, a White, and a Miststalker with our hero up front. Preferably you'd want to use this with the Archer class, but currently we have 0 classes unlocked, and we'll be getting around to that a little bit later in the game. But for now, we will be using this. Every single thing on the team does true damage, which means they will be doing their dealing damage through their HP and not their armor, skipping basically half of their durability. And one other thing to note is things that say steal life. What this means whenever a troop says steal life on them means that it's still true damage, but it's true damage and life steal. So this, for example, they'll deal 7 true damage to a troop and gain 7 life. And in the case of White, it actually has 3 things that scale off its magic. The amount of life it gains, the amount of true damage it does, which means damage to its HP, and the amount of souls it gains, so you can even use it to farm souls. And this is very easy to build. This, I think, weapon you get at like 9, 8, 7 green mastery, something pretty low. Wolf Knight is a rare, White is a rare, and Miststalker is a rare. So let's get into this. We're using the double red plus 1 yellow minus 1 brown banner. Main reason for this is 2 single red matches, even if they do not surge, will be enough mana for us to be able to get a full mana on one of these, because they only take 10, so getting 2 5s will be enough. So like right here, we'll get that. We got 6 because of the 4 right there, so we got the additional 1. And we can take that red if we want to get the rest of our mana, though right here I am not going to do that. The main reason being, well, 2 reasons. One, there's the skulls that's sitting there, and the other is if we take that, he is going to get some free yellows. One thing to note is night teams, all night teams I've noticed are used quite a bit earlier on in the game. All Knight teams are actually really, really counterable by true damage teams, mainly because they get a very high armor, but they don't have a particularly high HP. You can even see on their bonus right here, they're getting 2 attack, 4 armor for having all Knight. And if they did something like a all Swords Edge, they would have an additional 10 armor, but armor means absolutely nothing to us, so they can have all the armor they want. Won't really make a difference, except for our skull damage. One thing that you can do, though, is on Wolf Knight, if you want to do the trade stones to trade him up completely, he does have armor piercing, which is a 50% chance that his skull damage will hit the HP instead and ignore armor, which is essentially just true damage. So right here we do have 7 damage. Unfortunately, none of them are actually in a one-shot range. So we will probably just take these yellows right here, get the last of our mana. Not going to take the browns because we do have a -1 on our brown right now. We could go for these reds, get up our Miststalker. How much damage is our Miststalker doing? 9 damage. Yes, we actually can do that. One thing to note about Miststalker is he hits the weakest enemy. What weakest enemy means is the lowest durability. What durability means is whatever their armor plus HP is. So Knight Coronet is 20, 18, 24, and 28. So if we were to use a Miststalker, it would hit his Rock Shaman because it has only a 18 durability. It wouldn't hit any of the other ones. Even if their HP or their armor was lower, it wouldn't hit them. Like, it wouldn't hit that even though its armor is lower. It's based on the HP plus the armor. So that will hit him, and we'll get the kill because that's exactly enough damage. We also get 3 magic every single time we do that. So now we do 12 damage, which should mean we'll be able to get the next kill. Actually, we won't because he has 13 HP. Because it won't actually hit one of these two, even though they have a lower HP, but they have a higher durability. So if we use Miststalker again, it'll hit the Knight Coronet, which is not good because he has 13 HP, which is enough to be able to survive. But let's go now and go for the Paladin. Paladin is pretty dangerous because he has that 1-to-1 ratio. And one bad thing about true damage teams is anything that does boost based on armor, you actually have no way of reducing their armor because you're doing all true damage. Or if you're using like a 100% true damage team, you have that problem. But we can easily just kill it out with that combo there. And there we go. Our Wolf Knight does do additional damage if a troop is damaged. What a troop being damaged is determined by is if they have any of their HP removed. It does not count as damage if it has only armor removed. So you can't just do a skull hit and then use it. You'd have to actually hit them their HP down, which with all true damage team is relatively easy to do. We still have a pretty good chance of actually losing this, mainly because we are pretty under-leveled. We're using like 6 and 5s compared to a 13 and 10. This is mainly because I am out of souls right now. Souls, of course, are pretty scarce earlier in the game, and the fact that I've been showing so many builds keeps eating into all of my many souls. We were farming souls last stream, but even that wasn't enough to really be able to keep up with everything. So he will be doing quite a bit of damage there. Not going to worry about it too much, though. If nothing else, we can win with only a white, which would be pretty funny, but it's actually very much possible. So he's going to take a skull right there. He's going to kill out our guys. So Knight Coronet is not going to be enough damage. So what we're going to do right here is actually use this first. Normally I would use it in inverse order. Use the white and then this to kill them out. But unfortunately, that's not going to work here because he is about to use 2 different abilities. So we're going to do that first. We're going to kill him out. Hopefully use the other one first. No, he does not. That's a bit unfortunate. So he will get that. And I believe we'll have enough heal that we will be able to come back from this. So we will take that skull. We'll get everything from there. And let's double check anything else on the board. And now we will go for the white. This will heal us by that 7. And that should keep us alive. So now it'll be a close match to whoever can get the last damage. Unfortunately, all he needs now is a skull, so it is going to be very close now. He definitely has the advantage, but as long as we can life drain him again, we should be fine for the win. If we can get a red surge right now, that would be absolutely amazing. Hopefully we can. Otherwise, this may not go too well. Well, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a weird move here. I believe I'm going to take these reds and then into the yellow, because I think that will prevent him from doing anything. It may give him a skull, but it likely won't. No, it will not. So that worked out decently. We can take these reds. That will drop those skulls so he cannot take it. As long as a skull does not appear there, we should have the win. Okay, that was a little bit weirder than what I thought was going to happen, but we still get the win. Well, at least not to lose. Never mind, we don't win yet. We don't have the damage quite yet. If we had a little bit more magic, a little bit more leveling on these, this would be going a lot quicker, of course. A lot smoother. He'll go for a skull here, and it looks like it is going to get pretty close. Even though I thought we almost had it. Nope, not quite. And he did just place a stun on us, but we don't have any traits, so that does literally nothing. Okay, so this is very, very close. Doesn't look like we really have an option here. What's even worse is he will probably take these yellows next turn, so I believe we have to take them just to make sure he does not. And our skull damage is pretty much abysmal, so we'll just take that. See what he does. He'll deny us, which is okay, because that means we can take a skull. If we can take a skull and get another skull, that would be pretty convenient right here.
Mana surge.
Nope, not quite. But he can't take his mana yet, so we are in the clear for at least at the moment. Of course, that double red banner is really coming in handy now because we only needed to swipe 2 reds to be able to get up our ability. Even if none of them surge, we're still getting quite a bit. And unfortunately, there he goes with the final hit. And we will go down.
Mana surge.
But that is generally how you use this team. Of course, leveling is key. There's 2 main aspects that we did not have. We did not have the hero class of Archer, which you unlock from completing the Forest of Thorns questline, which gives you a lot of extra bonus on your hero, because then you can start leveling up your hero. And the other thing we didn't have was leveling. He was like double, almost triple our levels on his troops. But that is generally how it goes. And now for the team that we have on our, that we actually just got capable based on what we got from the stream. We ended up getting a Marilith. For any of you that do not know, Marilith is possibly even a better game troop than Dragon Soul. It is an epic, so it is a little bit harder to get. It's also not a kingdom epic, but we end up pulling it from a random gem key. We actually opened 4 gem keys, got like 3 trait stones, and the last one surprised us with a Marilith. But Marilith is insanely powerful throughout the game, particularly earlier on in the game. You may see it has 6 magic right now, but its true damage and attack is not actually based on magic. It doesn't matter what its level is. It always deals 6 true damage to all enemies and gains 6 attack every single time it casts. It then also destroys gems. It does 3 plus whatever the magic is, which is what that magic is doing, which does a total of 9 random gem destroys at the moment. We're also using some other assistants with it, like our level 5 Miststalker that we have here for the last shots, and Astral Spirit. Astral Spirit is really good for board control if you ever can get it fully traded. I'm not going to use the trade stones on it yet, though, because I don't know what we might get in the future. But it removes all gems of a chosen color, deals true damage to the first enemy, and has a 3-to-1 boost ratio based on the gems removed, which is pretty good damage. And the other thing we got is our Corvash from the other stream. This is pretty nice of a troop, one of the better troops in the game. We've been getting pretty good lucky on our legendary drops. Like 3 out of our 4 have been like pretty solid as far as what they were. But what we're actually going to do, earlier on in the game, you get a lot of blue-brown trait stone. Actually, during the stream, because we still have the bonus on Warlocks, I was mainly using the triple Warlock with a Dragon Soul team. The main reason for this is each one of them have Water Spirit and Necromancy. Water Spirit for a little bit more damage, and since we're using 3 of them, that works pretty good. And Necromancy, which is the main thing, because that will give us a bunch of extra souls. If you don't have a Dragon Soul, easily can put a Valkyrie there and just use something like a double red, or +2 red, +1 yellow, -1 brown banner with a Valkyrie there instead, or even put your Valkyrie to 3rd slot if you need it to be a little bit safer. So any of that kind of combination was pretty solid. Of course, it won't have the 25% bonus after this week unless another Human Mystic or Karakroth event rolls around, which probably won't be for a little while, but it is still very strong even without that. And other than that, that was mainly what we were using to get quite a bit of the souls this weekend, as well as our normal team with the Karakroth stuff, the Dark Troll, Dragon Soul, Giant Spider, Void Portal. A lot of people ask what you can use instead of a Dragon Soul here. I would say either a Banshee if you still want the souls from even more souls, because then you'll be able to convert out all of your blues into reds. And or you could use a Hellcat, which would kind of do the same thing with more board control, except you would not be gaining souls whenever you cast a Hellcat. So what we're going to be doing here is trading up our Corvash. As I said, pretty much everyone, since the home or the first kingdom you ever get in the game is Broken Spire, and since a lot of people you battle in PvP are still new into the game. You can see like everyone at a very low level will have their kingdom set to Broken Spire. You can easily just set that by going into a kingdom and then going to kingdom and then any of these and then set this as your home kingdom, which the only thing that really does is double the amount of tribute for you, which is why I'm currently using Zolkiri, as it's currently the best tribute of any level 10 kingdom I have, giving 5 glory and 20 souls, which means since it's our home kingdom, it will go 10 glory or 40 souls. But what we're going to be doing here is taking out one of these and finally upgrading our Korvash. We have a lot of brown blues right now. This is very, very good because we got them all from our home kingdom. So getting a troop like this was actually insanely lucky because we can actually trade it. We can almost fully trade it. Of course, we don't really need stun. Basically, nothing even has traits around us. So we're just going to go for the leadership and stone skin. Basically like Knight Coronet, except a true damage version of Knight Coronet. Knight Coronet is, of course, a lot easier to obtain, but Knight Coronet can't really be used on a true damage team. One other thing we should do real quick before we get into this battle, which I have almost forgot about, which trading that made me remember. If we go over to the shop, it is almost the end of the week this week, and I do want to buy another Dark Troll pack. Why is this? I want the Arcane Lava Trait Stones. I am thinking about maybe making a Lava Elemental team in the future. It is really good to trade troops with Stone Skin. Of course, we just did Emperor Korvash. But another one that is the Lava Elemental. He is a very good ultra rare. Explode your gem, deals a bunch of damage to the first enemy. It's still only level 1, it's doing that much damage. Boosted by the amount of reds destroyed. So that's 3 additional damage per red destroyed. That can be a lot of damage. Normally you can get at least 3 reds, so that's an additional 9 damage. And on top of that, it burns them. Burn does 3 damage every single turn until it just cleanses off naturally, which can stack up a lot of damage. The other thing that makes him really good is the fact that he has Pyromania plus Stone Skin. Stone Skin, of course, is 50% skull reduction. And the Pyromania, since he can burn, will then allow him to do twice as much skull damage. And, of course, many troops work very well like this, and that's why we're going for all of our magic and attack kingdoms first, because that gives us the best value for pretty much every troop in the game for the most part. So we're going to go for our 2 trophy now, see what we can do with this. Of course, we still don't have it fully leveled. We're still using like level 5 Marilith, level 5 Miststalker, level 5 Astral Spirit. But I did fully level up our Emperor Korvash. Our Emperor Korvash is almost maxed for the most part. The only thing we don't have is him ascended to Mythic, which is not happening anytime within the next couple months probably. And his legendary trait, which we don't really need until we get into later in the game. Maybe like level 150, maybe a little bit higher than that, until we really need to start utilizing that. Because he still stuns even without that legendary trait. We don't really need it for the most part, unless we're using something particularly to synergize with it. But at the moment, we're not doing that. So we will mainly just go for anything that we could possibly take off the board. I believe we are using a brown-blue banner on this team. Ideally, I'd probably be using a double red banner if we had everything on this team traded. The main reason for this is Firelink on the Marilith will allow her to get up in 2 turns with the extra +2 for a total of +3, which means you'll get 6 every single time, even if you don't surge. Miststalker would naturally be having a +1 on his purple, which means even though he's being blocked on red, he would still be able to get up in 2 turns as long as the purple surge. And the only one that wouldn't really have the mana would be Astral Spirit, but it has Empowered, so it would automatically start with full mana if we had it fully traded. But that's why we're using brown blue instead. But optimally, if we had them all fully traded, we would be using a double red banner instead. But we'll take our blue here, mainly just keep going for our Emperor Korvash. That was insanely lucky over there. So lucky that I think I'm just going to go for one of these greens now. We're going to be doing this for a little bit of the split damage. Doesn't matter if he takes any skulls, but as you can see here, Marilith doing absolute work. Extremely strong. If you have a Marilith earlier on in the game, I'm pretty sure anyone who even looks at this card knows it's strong. But if you happen to have a Marilith and you're under like level 200, definitely if you're under level 100, use this thing on your team. It is just absolutely insane. A little bit hard to get. Of course, it is a random chest drop. Glory keys, guild keys, and gem keys are about your best bet to trying to be able to get it. Right here, I think I'm just going to go for a skull. That will get up our Astral Spirit, and we pretty much have everything up. All we really need to do, we're not even really using our Korvash at all, but we can use him at any moment if we want to. Well, we're kind of using his Stone Skin. We're just using him as a mega tank at this point. And also, he does get 3 additional stats to everything. Something that Knight Coronet utilizes pretty good is the Leadership Stone Skin combo, which is why Knight Coronet is used quite a bit, but that's what we're using our Corvash for instead. Of course, there are some things that Knight Coronet can do a little bit better. Like Knight Coronet actually has board control. Knight Coronet can remove all the purple, which can help counter some troops pretty well. This doesn't actually have anything that it does to the board, but what it does do is drain their mana and stun them, so that's another extra bonus that it has on top of it. But all we have to do now is just Miststalker, and boom. It is as simple as that. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. That first team, of course, hey, we actually landed on all fours. 4 fours. that is interesting. All right, yep, 4 fours. We made it on 4 fours. 4, 4, 4, 4. But anyways, those are true damage teams. If you guys have any other questions about them, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I definitely advise thinking about using these. Normally you would want to base them around white plus Miststalker, as those are 2 of the stronger ones that you can get earlier on in the game very easily, and then kind of branch off your true damage team from there based on the kind of drops that you get. Of course, incorporating into it things like Merilith or Emperor Corvash or whatever other higher true damage troops you may eventually get in your drops. But that'll wrap it up for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.